After flying to Australia for business meetings, I arrived at my hotel at 2 a.m. in a wheelchair, and the night manager Sandra pointed at my legs, saying, "Another wheelchair scammer." She sprayed me with Lysol, poked my legs with a pen, demanding I prove it, then tore up my medical documents while saying, "Your R-word mother couldn't even birth you right." When her co-worker read my name on the papers, his face went white. "Sandra, that's the CEO." After flying to Australia for a full day of business meetings in Sydney, I wheeled into the lobby of my hotel at 2 a.m. wearing a tracksuit, exhausted beyond words. The second I walked through the doors, the night managers Sandra and Terrence stared at me like I'd brought a disease into their precious marble palace. Sandra pointed at my legs and announced, "Another wheelchair scammer." Terrence actually walked behind me and started doing this cruel impression of someone in a wheelchair, making these exaggerated rolling motions with his arms. I just took a deep breath and tried to focus on checking in. Sandra walked around the desk and got right in my face. "Prove it," she said. "Prove you actually need that chair." Before I could respond, she was demanding I pull up my pant legs. I lifted them to show my atrophied muscles, and she actually pulled out a pen from her pocket and started poking at my calves. "Can you feel this? What about this?" My face burned with humiliation as she probed my legs like I was some kind of fraud who needed to be exposed. Terrence put his hand on Sandra's shoulder. "Hey, maybe we should slow down. He might not, you know." He tapped his temple and then started speaking to me in this exaggerated, slow voice like I was a toddler. "Hello there. Do you understand what's happening? This is a hotel, a nice place where people sleep." Sandra caught on immediately. "Oh gosh, you're right. That explains everything." She leaned down close to my face and started talking super loud and slow. "Should we call someone who takes care of you?" Terrence actually started miming sleeping and pointing at the hotel like he was playing charades. I was so tired, and now I had to sit through being treated like a child who couldn't understand words. "If he can't even understand basic English," Sandra said, backing away from me, "who knows what else is wrong with him, or what he's carrying?" Terrence nodded and wiped his hands on his pants where he'd touched my wheelchair. That's when Sandra disappeared behind the desk and came back with a can of Lysol. She started spraying it all over my wheelchair and body. It stung my nostrils and made my eyes water like I was cutting onions. "Goodness knows what diseases you're carrying," she said, while half the can dripped down my wheels. I sat there soaking in Lysol, trying to breathe through my mouth, when Sandra noticed this woman checking in at the other end of the lobby. She grabbed Terrence and they started whispering and pointing at me. Sandra took out her phone and snapped my picture. "He's probably here to follow women like you into the accessible bathrooms," she said loud enough for me to hear. "It's always the ones in wheelchairs who are the pedos." I wondered which was worse, that they thought this about disabled guests, or that they felt comfortable saying it out loud. Terrence immediately ran to block the accessible bathroom door with his body, while Sandra showed my photo to the woman checking in. She started warning her about me like I was on some registry. I wanted to wheel myself out, but that would look like guilt, and I was trapped in this nightmare they'd created. 2 female employees came out of the back office, and Sandra showed them my picture too. They practically ran back to the office and locked the door. Every insult was another line in their termination.